Villains love to fight. They cause chaos as their job.
But that doesn't mean they always see eye to eye. Sometimes they have it out when they can't come to an agreement, or even just for fun.
And those instances are what we're exploring today. Greetings, Nerd Squad, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd.
I'm Josh Busker.
And I'm Connor Monroe.
And this is the top 10 most powerful villains who have fought each other.
Let's do it.
Coming in at number 10, we've got Deathstroke versus Gorilla Grodd. Two villains with an unexpected rivalry with incredibly tragic origins. While working for the villainous organization Hive, Deathstroke and his ex-wife Adeline Kane are captured when the group is surprise attacked by Vandal Savage and Gorilla Grodd, the latter of which winds up cutting Adeline's throat for a ritual to unlock the power of the Fountain of Youth. Outraged and heartbroken, Deathstroke would go on a violent spree to exact revenge on Grodd, attacking the heart of gorilla civilization and killing multiple intelligent apes in his search for his true enemy, a situation where nobody wins and the villains just continue hurting themselves and others more and more.
Coming in at number 9, Green Goblin vs. Hobgoblin. Green Goblin vs. Hobgoblin seems to only have happened in the 90s Spider-Man animated series that you know I love to talk about, but it could have happened elsewhere, just according to my research. After Hobgoblin was introduced before Green Goblin, Osborn went kinda nuts because, you know, Goblin. But since Osborn was the one who equipped the Hobgoblin, he was able to know where he'd be and who he was under the mask, resulting in Goblin attacking Hobby at Wilson Fisk's tower base, kinda thing, who had also been discovered by Spider-Man, who was shocked to see multiple goblins. This fight was certainly more tame since it was a 90s cartoon, but it's still pretty damn cool to see the goblins going at it, in like a fighting to see which goblin reigns supreme kind of way, not going in any other way, you freaking sickos, okay? I know where your mind is. While you're in the gutter, could you please clear it out? Okay, it's full of leaves.
Coming in at number 8, we've got Ultimate Dr. Octopus versus Ultimate Green Goblin. In the Ultimate Marvel universe, both Otto Octavius and Norman Osborn became their supervillain alter egos in the same accident, with Otto's mechanical arms being grafted onto his body in the same experiment that transformed Norman Osborn into a muscular version of the Green Goblin. After fighting together against Spider-Man for years, Doc Ock finally saw an opportunity to leave his life of crime behind when he was free from prison. However, the Green Goblin refused to give up on his quest for revenge, and after being enraged by Otto's comments on Spider-Man potentially being their greatest creation as scientists, he flat out murdered Octavius in the street to keep the rest of his superpowered followers in line. That's gonna be a yikes from me, Norman.
In at 7, New Goblin vs. Sandman and Venom. Spider-Man 3, while not the most favorite Sam Raimi movie, is still, in my opinion, a good movie. I like the scenes that everyone finds to be cringy, because I'm just a cringy guy. That thing, that's me. But I also love the climactic battle. Seeing Spider-Man get pummeled by two villains is certainly a harrowing sight, especially when he's already basically lost everything. But then an unlikely hero comes in, a man who has been the villain the whole movie, Harry Osborn, also known as the New Goblin, who had taken the same serum as his father but ends up using it in a better way. He ends up being critical in the fight against Sandman and Venom, using his bombs to take down Sandman and helping Peter save MJ and get to Venom before it was too late. This is certainly not a cop-out for this list though, because he was the villain the whole movie, okay? At least when he didn't lose his memories. Let's be honest here, okay? You know that even if it had its moments, it was still a good movie. I will die on this hill every single time.
If they can edit this in, I'm also in support of Spider-Man 3. I'll put that on the record. Coming in at number 6, we have to go with the Riddler versus the Joker, a confrontation so huge that it spawned an entire comic book event and turned all the villains of Gotham City against one another. When the Riddler reached out to the Joker to ask for his help in teaming up to finally kill the Batman together, the Joker responded by unexpectedly shooting the Riddler flat out in the stomach. This one act of violence kickstarted a series of escalations that wouldn't stop until hundreds more were dead and all of Gotham City had been carved out by the two warring factions. And while the two villains would eventually reconcile after Batman foiled both of their master plans, it just goes to show how dangerous two angry supervillains pointed at one another can be.
Halfway through in at number 5, Venom vs. Carnage. Venom vs. Carnage comes up whenever and whatever reality Carnage is introduced in. And while yes, Venom is a villain, he has a purpose. The symbiote wants to get back to Spider-Man and Brock wants to kill him. Sometimes the two share this goal. However, Carnage just wants, well, Carnage. So when he starts going a little too berserk, Venom does end up teaming up with Peter to stop him. Whether it's just because he needs Spider-Man alive, or Carnage goes too far and kidnaps someone Brock cares about, like in the 90s animated cartoon. But either way, it's certainly an interesting scenario, especially with Venom Let There Be Carnage having come out recently, which features this fight just as literally the main point of the movie. However, usually Venom doesn't seem to fear his asexually spawned son, which is, it's still weird. Carnage is Venom's son. That's an awkward family reunion. Like, why are there so many awkward familial relationships in comic books? I don't get it. Like, oh, what are you doing, step symbiote?
Coming in at number 4, we've got two of the most powerful villains in the Marvel Universe with Thanos versus Galactus. Now, with power levels as high as these two, their battling is a topic that is often debated by fans, as different encounters have led to very different outcomes. In situations where he's faced Galactus without an item, such as the Infinity Gauntlet on hand, Thanos has been essentially outmatched, only capable of landing a single blow on Galactus before the godlike strength of the power cosmic was able to defeat him. However, Thanos has a particular fondness for the Infinity Gems, they kinda made a few movies about those, and these powerful stones put him on a much more even playing field, able to beat the power cosmic down into submission and even crushing Galactus between two different planets. Come on guys, can't we all just learn to get along?
Getting close to the end in at number 3, Doomsday versus Darkseid. After a battle in Metropolis, Superman attached Doomsday's body to an asteroid, which is freaking brutal, and then he flung that asteroid into space. However, the issue ended with a panel of the reawakened and laughing Doomsday, still chained to the asteroid but otherwise alive. After passing through a wormhole, Doomsday's asteroid was found by a deep space scavenger ship. Upon examination of the particularly looking drifting rock, the ship crew retrieved the object, hoping to find something of value. The scavenger vessel happened to be en route to Apocalypse, and you know what's gonna happen now. Darkseid has since been empowered by the fabled Omega Force after his first encounter with Doomsday, and oh yeah, they've already fought together at one point. But Doomsday was fully rested this time because, you know, he was chained to a freaking asteroid, and after slaughtering the crew of the salvage ship, found himself landing on a harsh world. Unknown to Superman, Doomsday had faced off and beaten Darkseid in single combat, even after withstanding the full effect of Darkseid's Omega beams, and then he just laid waste to Apocalypse. And like, while the fight may have happened off screen, or I guess off page, it's pretty damn terrifying knowing that Doomsday just beat Darkseid just because he could.
Coming in at number 2, we've got our boy Thanos again, but this time he's facing off with Dr. Doom. And unfortunately, while the Infinity Gems might have given the Mad Titan the strength to stand up to Galactus and the power cosmic, in this one specific battle with Doom, Thanos didn't stand a chance. During the Battleworld saga, in which Victor Von Doom had become God Emperor Doom, Thanos approached his enemy on the battlefield and tried to give Doom one last chance to bow before a true god. And sadly for Thanos, he was vastly overestimating himself, as God Emperor Doom was capable of pulling a Mortal Kombat style fatality and pulling Thanos' spine and skull out of his still living body. And while eventually Doom would be overthrown and the Marvel Universe put back mostly to normal, Thanos will definitely think twice before trying to smack talk Dr. Doom ever again.
Finally, in at number 1, Joker vs. Red Skull. In 1996, Batman and Captain America came together for a crossover the likes of which nobody had ever seen. I mean, that's probably slightly exaggerated, but this was still a highly anticipated team up because, let's be real, it's Cap and Batman. However, when two heroes team up, you know that their villains are bound to as well. So the Joker and Red Skull had formed an alliance. That is, until the Joker found out who Red Skull really served, that being the German soldiers present in World War II, because I can't mention them for monetization reasons. Thanks YouTube, let's censor history. What are you, the public school system? Anyway, after finding out Red Skull's affiliations and who was really involved in the plan, Joker turned on Red Skull, showing that he at least had a bit of a moral code, saying, quote, "I may be a criminal lunatic, but I'm an American criminal lunatic." I don't know why Joker was shocked, given that Red Skull was literally walking around with that symbol on his chest, but Joker just seemed to think that it was a crazy disguise, which is the dumbest thing ever. Like, I think that's the dumbest thing that Joker's ever done. Like, even if it was a disguise, would you really want to be seen with that just walking around? Even if you are a criminal lunatic? Because of course not. You said it yourself, you're an American criminal lunatic. I mean, like, think for once, bro. Come on.
There we have it, the top 10 most powerful villains who fought each other.
Which of these villains did you like best, and which fight would you want to add to this list? Be sure you let us know down below.
Thank you all so much for watching. I've been Josh Busker.
And I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and we'll see you all next time. I was reading that wrong.